That's what it sounds like. It's like you need to be focused on if these aces are gonna hold up or not. That's what it sounds
No,
like.
no, no, no. King Queen suited is my play.
Hey,
Man. That's my
whatever it
hand.
is, sounds like you need to refocus that brain on a little more strategic game like poker that we do, and you know, step
Hmm.
out the crib for a minute. Let's get on the
Yeah,
table.
now, yeah, I got some, got some other things to handle, but I will return to the felt for sure.
Mm.
And that's like tonight, man. It's the return of Humble and Moss on Gambling Nights. Been a while, but glad to be back at it. Blessed to be back at it. So we got a hell of a show, man. Shedeur and Hunter, jersey retirements, Jalen Hurts, top 100. John Morant still think he's a gangster.
It's crazy.
NBA playoffs starting this week. Game on right now to finish up that 8th seed. Really don't matter. They're going to lose to the Thunder anyway. But it is what it is. This is Gambling Nights. Let's go. Welcome everybody back to another late night episode of Gambling Nights. I'm your host, CEO. They call me the president. They call me Moss Money. I got my guy back with me. Not all black, man. Not all black today. BHumble. What's up, bro?
What's up, man? Welcome. I'm happy to be back, man. Last week I was down and out, man. I was sick, man. It had me scratching and clawing. I didn't know what was going on.
Would you lost 20 though, right? That's the one thing about
I feel like it. I feel like. I hope so. If the sick is going to let me lose 20, I like that.
Yeah, right. That's what it be. You lose a little bit of weight when you get a little sick, man. So, everybody who don't know, we got the merch up on moneypotbetting.com. So make sure you go to the website, get yourself some new gear. I think we got a couple things already sold out on there. So starting to pick up a little bit, going to try and do a little bit more campaign, man, get that rolling a little bit. But make sure you go out there and support the brand and support us with the merch and stuff like that. And let me know if y'all want something else, man. Let's see. Let me know what y'all thinking. Maybe I can cook something up. But let's get right into it, man. Been a while, like I said, and don't want to waste too much time talking about other shit. Get your drink, pull up, and let's talk about the 2025 NBA playoffs. Now, I'm not going to lie to y'all. I don't know a lot of people watching basketball, right? Like, keep it a beat. We don't know a lot of people who are watching basketball right now, at least not until playoffs. So this is the most update. Well, this isn't the most updated because I think Miami won, right?
They did.
Miami won in the East, so they're locked in. I don't think they're locked in yet. Dallas and the Kings are on right now to get this 8th seed against the Thunder. But what I want to do here, bro, man, I want to talk about, you pay attention, right? You don't watch games, but we pay attention to what's going on in the NBA. So what I want you to do is I want you to let's see if we can run through the Western Conference and Eastern Conference, see if we can get to an NBA Finals game. I know, right? There's a couple good matchups though in round one, though. A couple good matchups in round one. We can talk about round two. I think it's got the biggest matchup of it all on the Eastern side, and then maybe we'll see. And I think Cleveland got a break with their bracket. So let's talk about it, man. Thunder, whoever. I mean, I'm pretty sure we both got Thunder in that one. But this one's interesting because the rumor is Kawhi is actually healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And Harden has actually been playing well, doing what Harden stuff. I was talking to my man about this, man. Harden don't get enough love, bro. Especially not from us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? As much as we've seen where we at with Embiid, like Harden does not get enough credit for that Boston series. He held it down, and people used to say, well, he won 2 games. That's not enough. I need you to win 4, James. All I got to say is without Embiid doesn't become an MVP without James Harden. That's first and foremost.
For sure.
And then he took Maxey on his wing. Maxey might not have that step back without James Harden.
That's true.
So, and then he held it down, went into Boston, game 1, put up 40-something, 40-point triple-double in Boston game 1, shocked them. And we did have a chance at home, up 3-2, and it didn't seal the deal. And we already know what the rest is. The rest is history. But James Harden's doing it again. Kawhi's been hurt. He's been holding down the team. They're the 5th seed. We already know what Denver is season. I actually got the Clippers here, man, because I think Malone not being their coach is actually going to show up here and hurt Denver.
Mm-hmm.
What you think?
Yeah, I mean, how do you fire your coach a week before the playoffs? Is insane to me. Something must have really happened inside that locker room.
For sure.
Somebody wasn't attached to something, and you just completely are changing over the ship because you fire your GM also. And you're just walking in and like I said, on a 4th seed to make this playoff run. So they must not think they got enough, or something's being disconnected inside that locker room. I'm not sure where it happened at, but like I said, I'm with you. I mean, I think it shows in the spread. The numbers, the Clippers is favorite. I want to say is a close favorite. I think like minus 120, 110 for the series. So it's fairly evenly matched. But to be the 4 seed, to have one of the best players to ever play the game and Jokic on the floor, and still have an even matchup. Yeah, I like the Clippers, man, and I actually like to see the Clippers move forward. I think there'll be a better series against OKC. To see Harden going back to OKC in the playoffs, just a little bit more storylines.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Harden going back to OKC.
In the playoffs,
yeah, in the playoffs, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And this will be the next best team, Thunder team, since Harden. And that KD and that
Westbrook,
era. So this will be that first time Thunder really kind of are back in business. So yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you on this one. I like the Clippers. I think they match up well. You got some size inside to handle a little bit more, make some disruption against the Clippers. I wonder what this series is looking like this year.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to find real quick. I was trying to find what was the series matchup. I feel like it was probably like 2-2, but let me I think I found. Yeah, so you're right. Clippers are minus 120 to win the series, so it is up 50-50. Let's see.
Looks like everybody's healthy. I don't see no injury report. Anybody, not help major that's not healthy for either team. Can the Clippers go on that altitude? One game 2.
Yeah, I don't see anything about the series. But Clippers are the hottest team almost in the NBA. 117 of the last 20.
Yep. So I like that. I like the Clippers. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I like the Clippers too, and I like that second matchup. We'll get back. All right, I think this is a big series here too. Lakers and Timberwolves. What you got? Lakers in 5.
Oh man, champagne, damn thing. Lakers in 5. They're gonna beat the shit out of Timberwolves, man.
Yeah,
that Luka factor is real.
For sure.
It's just a real thing. Luka is just a real big problem. I don't see how the Timberwolves can guard them. They couldn't guard him last time. They ain't gonna be able to guard him now. Don't forget, it was Dallas that took that team out. Remember, everybody thought the Minnesota Timberwolves was going to go to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
It was Baby Jordan and Baby Jordan this and Baby Jordan that. We ain't here. What happened to all that noise about Edwards being this Baby Jordan? That got quiet real quick. So give me Anthony Edwards taking his L by Luka Doncic again, and Lakers are going to move forward. I actually did put money on this series for the Lakers to win.
Yeah, I'm trying to. There's so many different sayings he got.
Oh, they're great. I wish we had it on the clip. We can play it, but
yeah.
They are funny.
They are funny. This one's a little bit interesting. Rockets second seed in the West.
Oh no.
Right? going against the defending champions. And like you said, you talked about the NBA sorely
Well, not
needs
the defending
Wiggins.
champions. They're not the defending champions.
No, I'm not. They're not the defending
Oh,
champions, but the NBA sorely needs storylines. And what better storylines to see? Lakers versus Warriors one more time, Bron versus Steph and that team one more time. I think the Warriors shocked the Rockets here. They fought hard to get in here, but and just kind of like you said, Luka's the factor with the Lakers. I mean, playoff Jimmy time is right now. So, give me the Warriors, and I don't think that's going to be an upset.
yeah. I don't see this being upset either. It's the old versus the new. I think the Rockets are close. I think they're just not ready yet. You're going against some seasoned vets. They got some mileage in the playoffs. This is a different type of game now that they're playing. This ain't regular season. These boys will be ready to play every single night. The question, will the Rockets be able to stand up to that? And I don't think they will be. They probably most likely get bullied by Draymond Green. You're gonna have the baby face assassin from outside. Then you got Jimmy that's going to D up triple threat on both sides of the court. It's going to be a little too much for the Rockets. I think the vets stand far, and you're going to get the Golden State Warriors versus the Lakers in the second round.
That series of Rockets versus Warriors 2-3 surprisingly, but I don't know. No, I don't think anybody played for Golden State that game. No, he did. Curry played. Danny Green played. I mean, not Danny Green. Draymond Green.
Danny Green.
I know, right? No, this was before though. It looks like this was before. No, Jimmy played this game too. They went Rockets a couple weeks ago went to Golden State early this month, right? 10 days ago to Golden State and did get a bucket. Did get a win.
Yeah, I know.
So with that being
Playoffs
said,
though.
yeah, it's playoffs. Yeah, it's playoff time for sure.
It's just different. It's not regular season.
Yeah. To me, I think the Cavs got to walk. I really do. I think the Cavs got to walk to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't think the Bucks are going to be able to beat. I mean, the Bucks might not get past the Pacers.
True.
That's the first thing. But even if they do get past the Pacers, I don't think they have enough to beat the Cavs, and I don't think the Pacers either. Cavs in 5. Cavs in 5. And then this is going to be the biggest matchup, as long as everything goes well, with the Knicks versus the Celtics.
They love the Knicks, man. Everybody got a lot of love for the Knicks.
In the semifinals.
Well, Tobias and the Pistons make a
hell no. Come on, dog.
Tobias made his way to the playoffs again, dog.
Hey, he showed up.
Yeah, man.
You can't hate on that, man.
He that vet got Detroit playing good basketball. Yeah. I think this series is gonna go. It's gonna be a long series. I think this next Detroit series is gonna be long.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so.
We might go 6 or 7 games here. I think the Knicks will be able to pull it out.
There's too much star power for the Knicks.
Yeah, I think Cat's gonna be able to kind of dominate that series. So if you had any plays in there, I would look at like Cat to probably his scoring props, rebounding props.
Yeah, I mean, they lost against. They went to Detroit and lost not too long ago. I'm looking at it now. Didn't have tough. Yeah, but Hart didn't play. A lot of players didn't play. Hart didn't play. What's the ball? OG didn't play. But I mean, look at fucking PJ Tucker over there.
Yep.
Finding his way. But Bridges, Towns, and Brunson played. So to me, that should be somewhat enough. But like you said, I mean, they got Detroit's playing. I'm looking at their squad now. They don't have a bad squad.
Cunningham's been playing. Ivy, I don't know. Is Ivy healthy? I'm not sure if he's healthy.
No, he's got a fracture. He's out.
Yeah, so that's a big loss for them.
But Schroeder's a vet.
They got some other guys there, man. We're gonna learn. I think one thing about these playoffs, we're gonna start learning some of these new guys' names a little bit.
For sure.
It's not a lot, and this is the thing about the NBA. There's not a lot of star power behind these young guys.
No.
the older guys are still the face of the league, and you're hoping that that transition was going to happen. And obviously, SGA has been on the rise, but besides SGA, you know, we'll get into John Morant and his antics, and Zion can't get on to stay on the court. So Cade Cunningham's in that market in Detroit that
Zion's
just
too
doesn't.
busy chasing ass.
Yeah, and cheeseburgers, and Detroit, you got Cade Cunningham who balled this year. I think he averaged like 20 plus points a game,
Yeah, yeah,
but he just doesn't get the notoriety. And I think you'll start seeing these names pop up a little bit.
yeah. All right. Harden goes back to OKC, Clippers and Thunder.
Thunder. I'm
All
gonna rock
right.
with SGA.
Lakers and Warriors. I gotta go Lakers. But see, my problem is that if they put Jimmy on Luka, that's a problem. That's gonna be a challenge.
And then Draymond's on LeBron.
Luka can score on anybody, right? But
Luka don't defend nobody.
Yeah, but Butler's gonna make it tough for him because Butler is so smart and aggressive on both sides of the ball. He's a true two-way player. So that's going to be a tough matchup.
It's a toss-up for me. I lean the Warriors. I think they're going to be a hot team coming in. But I mean, I like the Lakers. I don't care about both these teams coming out. I think they're going to be both a great final for the Western Conference.
Yeah,
I really don't have. It's a toss-up. It's a coin flip for me in that series. Obviously, we agree with the Cavs walks into the Eastern Conference Finals.
Cavs walk.
And I think Boston will walk into the finals, Eastern Conference Finals again. And then that'll be your toss-up.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I got the Knicks, bro.
Get the fuck out of here.
I got the
Hell
Knicks,
no. Hell
I got
no.
the Knicks. Because, I mean, I think they can defend Boston. They got the wings to defend Boston. That's
I don't think they beat Boston all year. Oh, maybe the last game they played them, they beat them.
Playoffs, dog.
Nah,
they lost to Boston by 2.
This team ain't scrappy enough. If this team was as scrappy as they were last year, they would win. They brought over a little cat. Cat brought the weakness, the softness. That's the difference.
Yeah, you're not lying. They haven't beat Boston all year.
No, they didn't. And they ain't gonna start in the playoffs. They ain't no dogs, man. They dog left.
That's there. Boston and New York. That's one for the books. The stars come out. You know what I mean? Everybody come out for that.
This ain't the.
You might even see Larry show up.
This ain't the 80s though. This is the 2025 softies coming in a New York Knickerbocker uniform.
All right, you got Cavs and Celtics. Who go into the finals?
Boston.
I got Cavs.
You like the Cavs? Donovan Mitchell and them?
Cavs in 5.
They gonna fold. Cavs gonna fold. They gonna get to Boston. They gonna shrivel up like a little ass prune.
So you got Thunder and Warriors, or Thunder and
whatever you pick. I'm good with that. You like the Lakers? You want to do? It's up to you.
Yeah. They need a story for the finals. We need something to talk about.
Plenty of stories.
So we're gonna go
Golden State, Boston, Lakers,
Cavs, Lakers versus Cavs,
Lakers versus Cavs,
Lakers versus Cavs.
Nobody want to see that.
Nobody want to see Bron go back.
Nope.
No. Let me see what that.
Nobody wants to see the Cavs in the finals.
Yeah, I can't hold you there. Let me see what the top predictions for NBA Finals matchups are. Let's see what
Boston Lakers, Boston.
That's the easy pick, though.
Warriors.
Everybody knows that shit in. Everybody know that. Everybody got that. Let's see. Playoffs.
Damn, Dallas up 20. There's been nothing but blowouts in these plans.
All right, so that ain't bad. It's plus 750 for the Clippers to make the Western Conference Finals. That's not bad. Series specials.
So you like Clippers to beat OKC?
Actually, you know what? Let's do it right here. I'm sitting here playing on the phone. We can We can do it right here. What'd you say?
See, like the Clippers to go to the final.
I do. I think the Clippers go to the finals.
Damn, they gonna beat OKC and the Lakers or Golden State.
I think so.
Hmm.
I don't in a 7-game series. I don't think any of those teams scare anybody. I don't. I mean, at home, the land,
They
they were
won't
the
be at
best.
home. You
They were
said
the.
You said Clippers.
I'm thinking about Cleveland. My
Oh,
bad.
Cleveland, Cleveland.
Yeah, I thought
Okay.
you were talking about Cleveland. Here we go.
Well,
ESPN
they won't
Plus.
be home either. Boston will be home.
Come on, man. Yeah, man. You funny. You funny. Let's bring up the bets. Let's bring up the. We do this live. Let's see what the series look like. It's John Buffett. Come on now. Bring it back. All right, there we go. You said you already got some money, and did you have money on Rory to win the Masters?
Um, I had him in the top 10,
Oh, so
and
you
then
got some money.
I played him. I played him live.
Oh,
Um,
you got him live.
that game last was
Was
it
the what it
Sunday?
called the back nine?
Yeah. Actually, it worked out because I was able to get some good value on Rory early because he started going down behind Bryson, so I was able to jump on Rory to kind of
Yeah,
come
he
back.
opened up with a bogey, I think, right, or like a double
Yep.
bogey. I think I
Yeah.
saw.
So that worked out. So you can jump. You could jump on them live. I like playing golf live during the last day. You kind of know where
Yeah.
you are. You're gonna have to play some juice, but
Look at that. Look at Cleveland sitting at 3. Oh, I tell you, boy, Cleveland sitting at 3.
yeah, behind Boston. We already know it's gonna be between them and Boston.
Man, nobody want to see OKC in Boston. You want to see OK? Nobody want
I
to
don't.
see the Warriors. Nobody want
I
to
don't
see
think
old ass
OKC gonna make it.
Warriors. Nobody want to see the old ass Warriors in Boston either.
I like of all Warriors teams. This the team I like of all of them.
Man, nobody want to see that
This the
bullshit.
team I like. I like Jimmy. I like Jimmy in that Warriors team. I like the way what he brings. Obviously, Steph's a bad man. Draymond, defensive player of the year. I like man. Listen, the Warriors.
All right, here we go. So Boston versus LA ain't bad. 10-1. Everybody likes. That's a good
Mhm.
story. Boston versus the Warriors is a plus 1100.
Give me Boston versus the Warriors plus 1100.
And
You can
then
get something. You get something. You can get the Warriors
Cavs versus
versus the
LA
Cavs.
ain't bad. 16-1.
No, how about Cavs versus Warriors? Plus 2001.
Yeah, I know, but definitely nobody want to see that shit.
We have seen that enough, huh?
Yeah, we just see ain't nobody want to see that. That wouldn't even look right without Bron. That'd be funny though.
Bro, that was like
That's
what 4 straight years they was in the finals.
yeah,
That was
yeah,
crazy.
crazy. Um, yeah, I guess I don't believe in Denver without their coach. I think that's going to be a huge loss.
No,
Even though they're a good enough team, but I'm trying to think anything else up here, and you don't like the Knicks. Yeah, no, man, I like the Cavs and the Lakers.
I would throw it down there. You
Yeah,
got it.
I'm gonna throw something on that. 16. Boston versus the Warriors ain't bad too at almost 11-1. That's not a bad bet. So, all right. So here we go. The homie Humble's going Boston versus Warriors. Money's going Cavs versus Lakers. I like the bets.
They say you can parlay that. How can you parlay that? That's
You
crazy.
can't parlay that shit. I don't know what the
Yeah.
fuck you're talking about. Yeah, I was about to say you
Okay.
can't parlay. You can't parlay it. All right. All right, we'll see. But play-in game there's a play-in game today. I think there's one more tomorrow. And then the playoffs start.
Yep.
Maybe we do that on Saturday. Check out the games. I think the Lakers play Saturday night, if I'm not mistaken.
The Lakers are Saturday night.
Yeah, Saturday night. All right, let's stay with basketball and this guy on some dumb shit. Once again, gets fined um, for his gun antics on the court. First April 1st against the Warriors, and then April 3rd, not too long ago. Ja Morant keeps pulling out the guns for some odd reason. And you know what? I never got the reason why these cats do this shit. Bro, you're on the court. This is not the streets. And even so, Clarence, you're not a gangster. Right? Like, you are Clarence from 8 Mile. You went to private school.
Sure did.
Like, what are we doing?
Lived in the suburbs.
Why are we doing this? Like, I don't get it. Shit ain't Fortnite. These are real life. Like, when you put your hands up and shoot a gun, especially at a real one, like, we don't, people, like, that's a threat. Why are you, I just, you got to help me figure this. Why are you doing it? This shit ain't cool. Because now what's going to happen is, because you were looking like one of the backers of who was going to be the new face of the NBA, but
No
you
more.
keep doing this shit, how can they promote you, right? How can I buy my son your sneakers, right? I don't want my son doing no shit like this on the court. Like, these kids watch you and follow you. I don't care how many gang member friends you got. Like, do that shit on your leisure. Don't do that shit for millions of people to see. And not even that, you're pointing at another black man too? Like, what are we doing, bro? Like, I just don't get it. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand what we're doing here, man. Help me figure it out. Like, are we?
The boy job, man. I don't know, man. He just, not only did he do that, he gets fined, right?
Right.
Then he comes back the next game after he gets fined, and guess what he did?
Does it again.
He throws a grenade this time.
Oh, the grenade. Oh, yeah. I like that. The grenade celebration was funny.
I mean, but it's just he's not going to get it. He's probably the most immature player in the league right now, and I'm hoping he grows up soon, or at least I hope nothing crazy happens where it gets real for him. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
asking for it. He's calling for it. He wants it. He loves it. He dwells in it. He can't help He can't help himself. He just can't help himself to do it. That's something that's embedded in him that he's fantasized about, and he's continuously doing it. And no matter how much money he gets fined, no matter all the therapy they didn't put him in, and they suspended him for 30 games, like they done did enough. It's like, when's it going to stop until you just say, you know what, Ja, we don't need you, bro, and you're done for the year. Like that's what we got to do. Because there's
Yeah.
always going to be people that's going to try to, come to his back and defense. No, man, this is self. This is what you call hanging yourself for what though?
Yeah. I just don't, you know what I mean? I don't get it. Now, some people say like it's not that big of a deal and all that, but
Those are idiots. Those are people that allow that are just making him feel like, yeah, it's not that big of a deal. It is a
yeah,
big
like
deal.
it is a big deal. I think it is a big deal. Like, I don't understand why we're doing this. You know what I mean? I just don't. So hopefully the young brother figures it
And
out.
this
But
is history though, like, right? Like, so we're talking about this because of his history. Like, we know that he got caught in a strip club with the gun. He also was told that, there also was reports that he pulled his
was he
gun
in
out.
like a car or something
He
too?
in a car on a
Videotaping you?
video pulling a gun out.
Yeah,
Pulled the gun out
like,
in the strip club. He pulled the gun out supposedly against this little boy that was at his house.
come on,
So this is this
Clarence.
is this is something that's been happening. This is why we're on top of him about doing some celebration like this, because it's guns that got you in the issue in the first place, and now you're representing a replica of a gun in a celebration. So people want to say, "Oh, this is not a big deal. Oh, other people do it," but other people don't have this track record, and that's the problem. So
And
you know,
then some, and then not even those them cats that might do. I'm not condoning that it's okay to do, but them other cats that do it, are from that life, about that life. Night, buddy. It's about that life. You are not. Now, as much as you want to try to be about it, as much as you surround yourself in it, like you're going to get what you ask for eventually, unfortunately.
And I'm hoping that's not what happens.
You know what I mean? And I'm not, I don't want that to happen, but we've seen, but like when you start keeping those type of individuals around you. So I think when it first was reported that he was hanging around like gang members and stuff like that, you keep putting those same people around you, you're going to find out what it's really like.
That is true.
You know what I mean? You just like, I just don't get it. It's like, I think, Gil was saying, something about he never understood, like once you got out the hood, you know, what makes you think you want to go back to the hood with all your jewels and your cars and stuff like that. Like these cats go, you putting yourself in, you know, the line of fire because these cats seeing you and they're starving. You know what I mean? They're starving. You come back here shining, like you make yourself a target. There's nothing wrong with going back.
And he's in Memphis. And he's in Memphis.
Yeah, like,
so, but he feels protected. You know, one of Memphis' owns was murdered in broad daylight. You know what I'm saying? A young Dro? Wasn't it young Dro that was murdered right there in Memphis? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I hope he gets it together. I hope he understands that this shit is weak. And for somebody that's making as much money as you, living on top of the world, find something else to do, my man. Like, really, find another hobby. Get a boat. Go buy a boat. Go fishing.
No, hey, it is what it is. Shout out to Cam and Maze. Do something else, my nigga.
Right. Like what is we doing?
Yeah. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But
or if you're gonna shoot guns, like be a pro. Like go do some army, military, like do something on that end. Like you out here just you holding a gun wrong. Like just do something more productive. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I hope him the best, but this is the reason why the future of the NBA right now is in turmoil because he was supposed to be one of the future.
Yeah, he was supposed to be it. Yeah.
Right. So it was originally supposed to be Zion Williamson. He was the next face. Ja was right behind him, and they both got issues. One man can't stop fouling that ass. The other one can't stop pulling guns out. It's
big
crazy.
Old ass. You see that thing?
Yeah,
you see that one girl?
Shit nasty.
It was, but it was like ridiculous.
That's nasty. That's nasty work. That's nasty work.
Oh man! But speaking of somebody who seems probably who has it all together, your Super Bowl MVP, Mr. Jalen Hurts.
That boy sharp.
Times 100 in all khaki was just named top 100 influential people. This was kind of a story that you want to talk about. I didn't know about this. So, yeah, I guess where did he fall in the top 100? And what do you feel like his influence has been so far to actually get him on this list? Because I was trying to think about, you know, I guess just setting the example of what you know professionalism looks like, as I guess is my guess, and how to hold yourself, you know, in the right light and keep yourself out of trouble and stuff. But we don't know what fame will do to him. I know he's been built for this spotlight, but you know now he really has a spotlight on him. So, yeah, give me some background and some thoughts on this story.
I mean, it's a lot. It really is. Influential, meaning it's probably his whole story. You know what I'm saying? Everything he's been through to get to this moment, and that's at the top. Like right now, he's at the top. He's a Super Bowl MVP, champion of the world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, ladies love him. He got the look for everything. He ain't caused no problems. He's known as one of the best leaders on his team in the NFL. But knowing his story, you know what I'm saying? He won national championship for Alabama, got benched in the playoff game, heading to another national championship. Had to still stayed there, stayed at Alabama, took a back seat to Tua Tagovailoa, supported him, and then he got his redemption when Tua got hurt and was able to kind of lead them into another national championship. transfers out of Alabama, goes to Oklahoma, becomes a Heisman Trophy candidate. Um, lead them to the I want to say, was it the playoffs that year? They
Yeah, I
led
think it was
them
the
to the
playoffs.
playoffs.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so you just see, and then
No,
he's
I think it was a bowl game. I don't think they made the
was a
bowl
bowl.
game. Yeah,
I think it was. You sure it wasn't playoffs?
I thought he won the bowl game. I thought he won the bowl though.
Okay.
I thought I can double check that though.
Then he gets drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles in a surprise in the second round. When the Philadelphia Eagles had a franchise quarterback and just paid our franchise quarterback in Carson Wentz, brings him on, takes a step back. Next thing you know, he gets thrusted into the starting quarterback position, and it's been history ever since. He's the epitome of a gentleman, from what I've seen. He surrounds himself with good people, women, strong black women is his team. That's been leading his charge. So he has the
You were
example.
right. I'm sorry to cut you off. You're right. They
The
did
playoffs, right?
the playoffs. They lost to LSU in the Peach Bowl.
Yep. So it just, and he's a businessman. Now he's becoming the face of the Jordan brand. They got the big campaign behind him. The Love Hurts, the lettering, everything behind him. This is the new face, man, and he's an easy face to market. I'm telling you, all the women that wanted to get that Love Hurts sweatshirt when that went on sale, I thought that was a drop of a ball for Jordan. To tell you the truth, because they should have dropped that on Super Bowl on the parade. I mean, you
Yeah,
couldn't get that for weeks. But man, I'm proud of him. I think he's a great example. And like you said, the test is coming, but I think he surrounded himself with the right people. Um, his father's is right. He idolized his father. He's a God fearing man. I mean, why wouldn't that be influential? And I think he deserves it, man. Congratulations.
yeah. I think well said. And I got one question for you. Do you think he would be on this list if they lost the Super Bowl? But
No,
before you answer that,
Everybody want to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
yeah, we don't gotta answer that question.
I guess we'll never know. Go
We'll never
Birds.
know. We'll never know if he would if that was a change, and we'll leave it at that. Even though
Absolutely.
Kanye a little nutty, but
Salute to Jalen, man. I hope he continues to get blessed and he continues to do his thing. I mean, his charities, what he's been doing in Philadelphia, you see him at schools. He's really ingrained himself into the Philadelphia culture. Um, Investments, things he's done for, just it's a lot, man. If you look at his story, look at what he's been doing. It's a lot that he's been doing, and I think I'm sure he will be a billionaire by the time this is all done, because I'm sure his money is being put in the right
oh
places.
yeah, I believe so.
I can see a second career for him, probably in finance. I think he got a lot of things going on, man.
I believe so. Another person got a lot of things going on, and I think this is probably the highlight of the show in terms of the biggest story. Travis Hunter,
Oh,
Shedeur Sanders, this Saturday. Retirement party, baby. We're doing a retirement jersey party this weekend. And guess what? Well deserved. Well deserved. I'm on the other side of this. Fuck what y'all talking about. They should retire these boys' jerseys. You know what they did for the city of Colorado? You know what they did for that university? This whole party. I don't care what you said before you try to talk it down, right? Let me tell you where Shedeur Sanders sits. He sits 5th all-time passing in just 2 years. Top person, Sifu Lafua, I think. He threw for 9,763 yards. Shedeur in 2 years threw for 7,365 yards. Holds the record for the most yards in a single season with 4,100 yards. That's 600 more than Corey Detmer. He has the single game record for most passing yards in one game with 510. He has the most passing touchdowns in 2 years with 64 all time for the school. He has the most touchdowns in a single season for the Colorado with 37. Next guy is 28. Like, he set every record that they have in 2 years when it took Cats 4 years. And I know offense is different. They threw 70% of the time, but he was accurate. He was accurate, and his record speaks for itself. And he actually sits, if I'm not mistaken, as one of the greatest one of the greatest college careers from a quarterback ever. Retire that man's jersey, and then he just got Heisman over there. Retire those boys' jerseys. Retire those boys' jerseys. I didn't even know that because I was with you. And I said, hold up, why are they retiring this MFer's jersey? Like, what? Like,
That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Is that enough to retire your jersey?
I think so.
Listen, you're going to be in the Hall of Fame for Colorado, right? Like that's appropriate. He should be in the Hall of Fame for Colorado. Retiring your jersey, though? You look at the two people on the screen. I mean, it's almost night and day.
It's University of Deion Sanders, man.
But let's look at the picture on the screen.
I'm looking.
You have a all-time legend that wears number 12. An all-time legend that wears number 12.
He's a Heisman better career at Colorado.
Number 12 at one of the best college careers of all time. So his jersey should be retired because there's never going to be another person that walks into Colorado that can do what Travis Hunter does. Now, you look at number 2, great career. Good job.
Amazing.
You're one of Colorado's best. You will be in the Hall of Fame of Colorado.
No, not one of their best, the best.
He's not the best. He's not.
Bro, he threw for 7,000 yards in 2 years. It took other guys 4 years to get to 9. If he stayed another year, he would have shattered that record.
And it got them how many wins?
Got them into a bowl game.
And they lost.
13-12
record.
Yeah,
as a Colorado
13,
Buffalo.
14 or something like that.
13-12 as a Colorado Buffalo. Lost in the bowl game. If it wasn't for social media and him being this big star, and obviously his father, he wouldn't be retiring your jersey is something that you have done, not just great things. You have done almost untouchable things for your jersey to be retired.
He has.
No.
Nobody's going to touch his numbers in 2 years.
Cordell Stewart jersey's not even retired in Buffalo. In Colorado. Eric Bieniemy won a national championship, led the best running back that ever went through Colorado. Jersey still ain't retired. How do we come in and retire number 2 over those two guys?
Yeah, those two guys didn't have an impact on Colorado like he did. Maybe
they
Cordell.
won a national championship. What do you mean? Impact? They won a chip.
Maybe Cordell. Cordell was different.
Eric Bieniemy won a championship. He almost rushed for he almost had 2,000 yards rushing that year. He won. Like, what are we talking about? EB was that guy.
No, he was. I'm not saying he wasn't. You're right. I'm not saying he wasn't.
Listen, I'm all for.
He probably
Travis
tight
Hunter.
too. How tight is he?
I'm sure a lot of people are tight in Colorado right now.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yo, what we talking about? We talking about retiring a jersey. We're not talking about Hall of Fame. We talking about retiring a jersey. Nobody can ever wear these jersey again. That's insane. That number 12 jersey is different. That's a unicorn. He deserves to have his jersey retired because there's never going to be a player that walks in to Colorado that can do what he did for years at that level. Number 2, the way that their offense is, the next person that's in that locker room, the guy, the number 1 quarterback they got of this year, can do what Shedeur Sanders is going to do.
He won't. But okay.
Now that's something we can do. Now let's do that. Let's look at what Shedeur did in 2 years, and if this guy stays, see what he'll do in 2 years.
He won't.
If they're the same, right? If they're the same, he won't. His jersey should be retired.
He won't be just because he doesn't have a talent like Hunter. He doesn't have that talent to throw to, or nor Horn. I think Horn is a top 50 pick maybe.
I don't know where Horn is at, but yeah, probably second, third round.
Yeah, so I don't. He had talent. Shedeur had some talent to throw to.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
But say he does get 4,000 yards next year. That's already half of where Shedeur was at in 2.
You're right. I don't think he will.
So are we going to now Is his jersey gonna get retired? Like that's what I'm saying.
No,
It's not like Shedeur did anything too, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. It's not like Shedeur did anything too crazy for that. Travis, 100%. He deserves it. He'll be in the Hall of Fame. He's a Heisman Trophy winner. Jersey should be retired. The number 2 jersey though should be still in the Raptors. That should be a linebacker. That should be a linebacker number next
that
year.
should be a
That's what it should
linebacker
be.
number.
It should be a linebacker number.
You hate shit.
12 wins, bro. 13 wins. Get the fuck out of here, Shedeur. Fuck out of here. 0 bowl games. 0 bowl wins. Like, get out of here.
I hear you.
Lost to Arizona to potentially make it to the
With the
to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Lost to Arizona. Come on, man.
All right, let's stay with these two. Travis Hunter says he will quit football
It's crazy.
if not a two-way player at the second level. And I think Stephen A. had kind of talked about it. I'm trying to paraphrase what Stephen A. said about how I think in his junior year, how much actually Travis Hunter actually played on the field. And I think he did the math or whoever helped him out. And it came out that he had been on the field an average of like 120 plays.
Yeah.
Which is an absurd amount to play every single game. And the question or the issue or the problem is that there's no way that he will be able with his frame sustain that at the next level and be as effective as he can. I understand he's wired different. Did he get rid of the girlfriend or is the girlfriend still around? You know?
I highly doubt it.
Yeah. So I understand he's wired different. I understand that, again, he's a unicorn. He's a generational talent. But attrition and just, mechanics of you're not built to do that at the NFL level.
Yeah.
Talent, skill-wise, won't question you. But physicality-wise, no. These boys are drugged up on steroids and coke. They will split your ass in half.
And grown-ass men.
And grown-ass men pushing sled weights and hanging, pushing a sled up with 1,000 pounds and with a sled behind them. There's a different level, a different caliber of player that you're going to run into. You know what I mean? You better learn how to play like Dion on the defensive side. Well, let me ask you this. The draft is next week. Where you got Travis Fall going to? You think he gets past Cleveland?
No, I think he goes 2 or 3.
2 or 3?
Depends on what Cleveland going to do. Is Cleveland going to take a DN and they're going to lock up, Abdul Carter and have Abdul Carter and Myles Garrett on both sides? That's a dangerous.
So that's enticing.
That's a dangerous. But then do you let go of a unicorn and Shedeur that can help you on both sides of the football? So I think he goes to the Giants. Or he goes to the Browns. One or the other.
Right.
He's not falling behind 3.
Yeah, no, I don't think. Yeah, he doesn't.
But I'm with you on this though. This is the NFL, and I think what Travis got to understand is this isn't college, not just a level of competition that you're going up. You're going up another tier, right? And it's not a small tier. This is like a big tier. But it's about the investment of a team that's saying, I'm going to give you this amount of money. I got to protect you from yourself. I can't expose you year in and year out to over 120 plays because the odds of you being hurt within that time frame just goes up double, right? If you played receiver, I got to hope you make it through a 18 game season, right? You playing on both sides of the field, that's like you playing, 2 seasons in one. You're not going to last long enough for you to help us in the long run. Because eventually somebody's going to hit you like Colorado State did, and you're going to be out for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or even worse. So it comes down to that investment as an ownership that will have to sit down with Travis and say, hey, I want to be able to put you in some situations and scenarios to make our team best, but your health is more important, and I can't expose you to this type of level of plays that can potentially get you hurt. But I have some packages for you offensively, some special teams. I have some places to put you where as though it can be safe and you can be explosive and show your skill set. But day in and day out, no, no. And then he's only
Yeah,
going to hurt himself because they're not going to
yeah.
pay him for both positions.
No,
You
I
know
agree.
that.
No, where do you think he goes? I mean, I'm sorry, not where you think he goes. What do you think he plays?
I think he's. I think he. I think he. I think he's better at corner.
You think he's better at corner?
I think he's a better corner than he is a receiver. But I think he's
Corners don't get
talent.
paid though.
Corners don't get paid.
Yeah, corners don't get paid. I mean, they do when you're the top corner, but
Yeah, I
receivers
think.
get paid.
Yeah, I mean, you asked me what I think he's better at. I think he's a better corner that can help the team. I think receiver wise, he lives in that middle tier to potentially being excellent. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But that comes with reps. That's going to come with him being there full time. Like you're not going against these dudes that you was going against in Nebraska, or you're going against the best week in and week out.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has the mental to get better every day, but I don't think he'd be able to do those things on both sides of the field. Just my opinion. He can shock me. If I'm an ownership, there's no way I'm exposing him that much. There's no way.
Yeah, as a top 3 pick, yeah. You can't let that guy get hurt. I think the rumor is if he goes to Cleveland, supposedly Kirk Cousins is coming to Cleveland. And then they want to pair him with Cousins.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, he's sharp enough where he can do that.
Yeah. And then he'll play receiver in Cleveland, and I'm assuming they'll have him in some packages on defense, but I think it's easier the other way around for him to play defense and then him have offensive packages.
Offensive packages, exactly.
Yeah, then playing off receiver full time and then just throwing him out there on defense.
Right. You can be a nickel, and maybe you want to be a nickel, working up slots. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the impact that you're going to have to go through, tackling, stuff like that, shoulder injury. You know what I mean? Just a bunch of things that you got to worry about for your star player that you don't want to expose him to. So, but listen, man, he's if anybody can do it, I think he can do it, but I wouldn't expose him to that because you're not talking about a 4-year, 2-year, 3-year career. You're talking about hopefully 10-year, 12-year. You know what I'm saying? You're looking about a longevity of a player that can play more than 10 plus years and become a Hall of Famer. I can't see him expose himself for 18 games plus.
Yeah, I agree. So I don't know if the system got exposed. I don't know if the player got exposed or the team got exposed. Well, Mr. Nico from Tennessee
Jesus Christ.
didn't show up for practice and film, all the above, trying to renegotiate his NIL deal because $2.5 million in college ain't enough. We need $4 million. I guess that was based off other players that are similar and what they feel he is. I mean, he did help Tennessee get to the playoffs, but Tennessee took a hard stand and said, no, we're giving you 2.5. We're not giving you any more, and we're just going to move forward with what we're doing. Nico goes into the portal. I think I heard that there was already a don't sign a contract or no new contract because he already knew where he was going, and ends up going to UCLA. What do you think about this? Him going to UCLA, and it's being reported that it's not like he's signing a new deal or a new NIL deal for like $4 million because UCLA can't afford that. I'm assuming he might get a little bit of a bump than what he had.
I think it's less money from what I
but it's less money. So do you think that this was more of Nico just forcing his way out of Tennessee because of the offense? Because I was also reading that I guess Nico's representative wanted them to add more talent and better offensive line for Nico to continue playing in Tennessee. I feel like he forced his way out from what it seems like.
But you could just transfer. Like, why would you have to go through all this to? Like,
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it was what it was. He wanted $4 million. He said no. And he said he didn't show up to practice like he's going to hold out. Like this is the NFL. And they said no. We don't need your services no more. We'll move forward. And good for Tennessee to lose their starting quarterback and to say, you know what, hell with that bullshit. and we'll figure it out. I think that's huge, man. And that ain't easy to do. A lot of people will bend to that. I don't know what's going on with these kids, man. I understand it's about getting paid and getting the money, but like I said, I'm against all this craziness that's been going on. These kids hopping in and out the portal and blah blah blah. It's just I think we're showing them how to be greedy and um and not showing them stability and how important that is too. So
So you're right. Here it is. I'm reading now. Supposedly the rumor is that he got 1.75 million
yeah,
from UCLA, and he's saying their family's coming out that it wasn't about the money, but it was about the offense.
okay. So I guess you're right. It wasn't about the money.
Who's over at UC? Is it Foster? Is the
Yeah,
coach?
like what is he going to do? What is he going to do in that offense?
Yeah, that's what I'm like. What's that offense over there?
Trash. That offense
Right.
was trash last year.
Yeah, like I'm confused.
But he couldn't go to any SEC schools, so he was stuck. He was blocked out of there. You can't be transferred to any SEC schools if you did from what they
Yeah.
after a certain deadline. But I mean, that's to me that's weak as hell. But listen, God bless Nico. This ain't been good. This ain't been a good couple of stretches of stories for people named Nico. I mean, this Nico, the right now Dallas GM Nico, he been going through it too.
Oh yeah. I did see that.
Like,
I did see that.
but yeah, man. I mean, if it was because he didn't like what's going on in Tennessee, I mean, then you could have just transferred.
He screwed, and then he screwed Tennessee. Tennessee screwed their whole year shot at this point, because they probably spent all their NIL money. They based it on Nico coming back.
Yeah,
He's not coming back now. They don't have a quarterback, and whatever that over and under was from their team total, if you took the under, God bless you. And then where's the NCAA in this one? Like, why are they just letting this like randomness and like just shit happens? Like,
I'm okay. I'm okay. It's so funny. I'm okay with NCAA. Tell you the truth. I know everybody mad at NCAA. They pointing a finger at NCAA. The NCAA is the main reason why this is happening. Nah, man. NCAA, you know what they did? Although they were just as corrupt as prior to NIL and transfer portals, they sitting back like, this is what y'all wanted. This is what y'all wanted. Y'all wanted this, right? Go ahead, have at it.
yeah.
I know that's not the right thing to do. I know they're supposed to be the governing factor. It's kind of similar to where we at right now in our politics. We like, this is what you wanted, this is what you voted for. Now we're gonna have to live with it. And I think that's kind of what the NCAA is taking the back seat and kind of letting it get out of control, because it's just bad. But we do need structure. We need some type of
For sure.
potentially salary cap for some of these teams, potentially contracts. If we're going to be, we can't act like we're doing professional sports. You either gotta be in or be out. Because when you're halfway there, this is what it looks like.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with what you're saying, and I'm just trying to catch up on anything added to the story. And the only thing that came up that I totally forgot, he's in the highest income tax state in the country. So that 1.5 is probably going to be like $750K. So he went from 2.5 mil, whatever that was, taxes was in Tennessee, whatever those were. Now he's going to be at 750. So
and you talking about you worried about the offense? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You worry about the offense.
Right.
I don't give a shit who they put out there. We're gonna figure this out.
Right.
You were just in the playoffs last year. What are we talking about?
And
you're
then
in a very friendly offense in the Tennessee offense.
Yeah, I agree.
Now you about to go to UCLA and hand the ball off.
And a surprise video here, you kind of hinted at with our politics, questions about our politics, left, right, up, down, however you want to slice it. I thought this was an interesting story about people that look like us. I thought this was interesting. I saw a snippet of it and I was like, ooh, let me get this and then play this live to give a live reaction from both of us and what this one's about. So let's play it first, and then let's get some live reactions about what exactly is kind of going out here in the real world. We try keep politics, religion, all that good stuff out of it, but I thought when I saw the opening of this, I thought this one was really important, especially for people that look like us. So, enjoy.
Men are not attending college, and this is a horrendous trend. The number of black men at four-year colleges has plummeted, and at Howard University, there are as many non-black students as there are black men. Howard is just 19% black men. There's an array of reasons why this is happening, but the number one thing sociologists point to is something they call the belief gap, that a lot of young black men don't believe that they can or should be able to handle college intellectually or financially. Guys, college is a critical part of gaining the intellectual skills you need to get into the middle class. Black women have known for years and years that they need degrees to overcome racism and misogyny and get as far as they can in life, and they have become the most educated demographic in the country. But leaving black men out of that trend means a lot of potential wealth that could go into the black community won't go into the black community, because people who could have become middle-class professionals and intellectuals will not be able to make that leap.
So, there's a lot to unpack there. But the first thing, and this can kind of be kind of broad as well, but he's specifically talking about black men, Howard University, HBCU, how the black men population is going down a lot. So there's a couple things that I pull from all this, and I think this is about the youth as well, just in general, of the understanding of is college good for you or not, right? That's always been kind of like a battle, even in our generation. Even with my daughter, me and my daughter have talked about, whether college is really, do you have to go to college to be successful? But what do you think about what he's saying here, that at HBCUs, there's no more, the black population is starting to dwindle at HBCUs, where they're really not more black students at some of these universities that are supposed predominantly, HBCU, historically black, universities. Like, that's the name of them for a reason. Or do you think it's cap? Do you think it's cap? That's another thing. Do you think it's like, this could be clickbait? Maybe I got caught. Why would clickbait?
No, I don't think. I respect him. He's very intelligent when he speaks. I didn't know that information. I'm surprised when I heard that. I don't know if it's about black people attending university, because I think a lot of black women are attending university. I think he kind of talks about that.
That's a fact. They're the most, so black women are most educated demographic. For sure.
I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good and a bad thing. I mean, obviously, we know why it's bad.
Well,
but I would say the good thing about it is that, damn, it's 19% black. All these black women. I mean, shoot, they got the pick of the litter. They really want to get, figure out what they want to do. So if I would say to black men that's not going to school, you got some opportunity here, whether you like education or not, but you can find whoever you want to find at that percentage at that university. But I mean, on a serious note, this is shocking to me. I was always raised that education was key.
Yeah.
So I don't know what this generation of parenting is having on the impact of our young men, and what are those barriers, right? Because I feel like that these younger men are more in tune with a lot of the education that's out there, right? Like, more research than what we were when we were young. It was like, we get to school, we learn. Now these kids are kind of coming in a little bit, I would assume, a little bit more prepared. But I guess the stats are telling me different. I'm going to look into this. This is interesting to me. I did not know that.
Yeah, I saw that. This is black men are not attending colleges, and I know this guy. I've heard him speak as well. So I was like, I played it for a little bit. I was like, ooh, I was like, this is gonna be a good one to even just to throw at Brent and see how he see what you come back with. Like again, like you said, there's a lot to unpack here. I'll talk about it broadly, and then we'll get a little bit granular in terms of black men, not just granularly. I think this generation, because you're asked so young, and I'm going through this with my daughter because my daughter's going to college this year. You're asked so young to tell me what you are. Tell me what you want to be when you grow up. And I think it's an unfair question to ask a 17-year-old, 18-year-old kid to know what they want to do for the rest of their lives. Mm-hmm. And then there's so much out here from social media. We didn't grow up in the social media world, right? So we don't understand what that world looks like, getting bullied and stuff like that. We picked up the phone and called people. All these kids use their $1,000 cell phone to text everybody. And I think that you have also that pocket of babies raising babies. Grandparents are 40, 45 years old. We're not too far from that, from that generation. And I think that generation is the ones that are starting to come up that are falling out of faith in college. Mm-hmm. And now getting even granular to us in particularly, there's a lot that we can circle around why black men are falling off from not attending college, including, I think there's a lot of layers to that, but I think you hit on the most important one and the one that I kind of put up here is parenting. Right. It starts at home first. You know what I mean? If we don't have that community at home, then we shouldn't expect that these young boys, these young men, and even young women are not going to go out and go be ready to understand what's in the world today. And there's always been a fight to get, kind of black folks to go to HBCUs and kind of put some spotlight on them. I think I had a chance to. My grandfather went to, was it Charles C. Smith? Or what's that one called? Johnson C. Smith?
Johnson C. Smith, yeah.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Johnson C. Smith. So, even from internally with my family, I had a little bit of exposure to it, at least. And you went to a HBCU.
Sure.
Well. So, I just think that I don't know if it's talked about enough in the household anymore, unless you're an alumni.
Yeah, and usually that's where it started. Back in the day, you would hear it from your neighbor, from your church, right? Obviously you would go to your church, probably most likely a Baptist church or a black church. If you're living in inner city, and then a lot of those members would end up coming from an HBCU. So you hear about like the Florida A&Ms, the Hampton universities, Delaware State universities, Cheney universities, Lincoln's. You hear about all those HBCUs through that communication. Now I think it's a little bit different. A lot of people are not going to church. A lot of people are just more streaming church. So you're not getting that impact in that way. And then the outreach, I guess maybe the universities can do a little bit more, do a little bit better. Maybe the alumni, like myself, maybe I need to do a little bit better and spreading that gospel to some of these kids, especially if you're in that environment. Of my experience, and my experience was great. And my experiences at other HBCUs and visiting other HBCUs, because I was an athlete, was also great. Me having friends across different platforms that went to HBCUs, loved their experience, and I'm still friends with a lot of people that went to HBCUs. And so it's almost like a forever family, and almost like, you went to Howard. What's up, bro? It's one of those type things, because we know what we did, we know what we went through. So it's almost like a rite of passage, and I wish everybody can experience that, especially young black boys as they grow older. But like I said, it comes down to parenting. What are we teaching us? What do these kids want to do? Do they want to go to schools, universities? I don't think you have to. I think especially now there's opportunities outside of schools, so I don't blame them. I think there's a need for like X amount of plumbers and electricians.
I think I just saw that. It was like insane.
Yeah, it's a big need for that in the future. And we're talking about, and I know those jobs seem like not the most fancy jobs, but
The
now
only
since there's
jobs
such a
pay.
short, you can curate your capital,
Yeah,
right? So you can now dominate the market of, okay, I'm the only plumber in my township. I'm going to get all the business from this
for
township.
sure.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? That's just maximized. So a plumber that will make $120,000 with his own business can now make $200,000 to $300,000. And we're talking about a plumber, an electrician. So, is there a need to go to college? I'm always been taught about education, but for you to have a good, healthy life, I don't, as long as you pick something, a trade, something with yourself, you need to do something. Um, but man, that's shocking to me. I want to do some research on that. And I think this makes me want to feel like I need to do a little bit better as an alumni. I did not know that. I wouldn't even think about that,
yeah.
to
I
be honest.
think I wonder what it is across the board. You know what I mean? That's where my thought was, and then obviously why. I think that number ticks back up though over time. I think it's just this generation, this pocketed generation.
Mhm.
Because I think there's that pocket of generation like the COVID babies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Like there's a couple pockets of generation that got hit heavy with like shifts in what what we were taught versus what kind of they were taught. Right? Again, you got grandmamas. There's no.
I,
I forget who said this. Was it Shane? I forget who said that. Now, maybe it was Gil. But this theme of the last 5 to 10 years, there's no more like big mamas no more.
true.
You know what I mean? There's no like elderly matriarch
Hmm.
that has seen everything, and it was a big gap in age
Hmm.
to understand that. You know what I'm saying? I think the oldest person, even in my family now, because a lot of them have passed on, is a boomer.
Yeah, because we got to, and this is dangerous in ways. I don't want to say dangerous. I mean, maybe it's maybe the right word, but back in those days when we were growing up, that generation, 2 generations before us, was family forwarded. It's not
Mhm.
like that anymore. Not saying you don't worry about your own family, but that's the thing. We're only worried about our own immediate family, right?
Yeah.
We haven't
Yeah,
really
facts.
like
Yeah, there's
it's
no
it's
there's no more family reunions anymore.
correct, and
Yeah.
that's the problem. That's what happened because we've got so focused and separated on doing our own thing that we forget even our own extended family. We don't talk. When I grew up, we talked to our neighbor. Do you talk to your neighbor right now? You know what I'm saying? Like
Uh,
it's the small things. Like how many neighbors you know in your block,
we know a couple. Yeah,
and that's good for you.
yeah
But I
we
know I know there's many that don't know their neighbors.
yeah
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? They're not talking to their neighbors.
I don't know my neighbor that lives right across the street, like who's I guess somewhat connected to me,
Hmm.
but I know my neighbor who's behind me. I know my neighbor across the street and like the other side. But
Right.
like the closest neighbor to me, like no, we don't talk.
But see, when we grew up, everybody knew the neighbor. Every neighbor knew
Yeah,
you.
you knew everybody on the
You
block.
couldn't do nothing on the block. You know what I'm saying? That you ain't gonna get in trouble with, even if I'm at the bottom of the block. Because Miss Susie that lives in the bottom corner house is gonna tell my mother that I was doing some crazy at the corner store.
Facts.
So it's just a different community that we're living in right now. And then when you see, like, especially with HBCUs, you have Spike Lee that had a lot of different movies that, like, gave that picture of what HBCUs and Black university was about. Just the camaraderie with um, a lot of different visual movies that were out during that time in the 90s that was talking about like HBCUs. That gave the door for those teenagers coming up that kind of lead to us from myself like myself to kind of go to school or want to be interested in going to HBCU with Greek life, AKAs, Qs, Kappas, Deltas, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? All that. So I would say, and I would challenge, knowing that this data is where it's at, that for everybody needs to step up. HBUs, the Greek life, alumni need to all kind of get back and push back into the community.
All right.
And
Well
it's
said.
important.
Yeah, well said for sure. All right, hope I saw a couple people jump on here and jump off. So I appreciate everybody who did listen, and I thought that last part was important. So I wanted to make sure we add that in here. But yeah, continue to support the show. I hope you enjoyed the show tonight, and we have NBA playoffs this week. So hey, if you want to bet, put one of those bets in. I'm not going to lie to you and say that I've been watching and studying basketball all year, and I'm going to tell you to pick this one and that one. I'll probably pick who's ever home, for the home advantage for somebody who hasn't been on the road yet in that type of environment. I think that's a good tip to kind of follow from a basketball perspective. And we got the draft next week. So, football's about to start heating up again, and, that's when we get busy. So, again, thanks for joining. Thanks for locking in, and we will see you guys next week for another episode of Gambling Nights. I'm Moss Money. That's Be Humble. Enjoy the night, everybody. We'll see you guys next week.